Hi, my name's Sam and welcome to the first ever episode of our brand new channel, Cine 101. On this channel we will be doing film reviews, film news, opinionated discussions, and all whilst working on our own projects that we hope to upload. In this episode I'm going to be talking about my top 10 Disney films. We're going to be doing a lot of top 10 episodes. Well, obviously a lot of you are going to disagree with what I say, however I think I've come up with a pretty legit list and I hope you enjoy. So at number 10 is The Great Mouse Detective. The Great Mouse Detective, in my personal opinion, is the most underrated Disney film of all time. It was the first Disney film to make extensive use of computer technology and has a really good story as well. It's based on the novel Basil of Baker Street by Eve Titus, so you can already see the references to Sherlock Holmes. The main character, Basil, is supposed to be like Sherlock Holmes, and his companion, Dr. Dawson, is obviously supposed to be like Dr. Watson. This means that it appeals to not only younger audiences with its story and characters, but to older audiences who would have been fans of Sherlock. The storyline consists of a young girl whose father is a toy maker. He is kidnapped by the character Ratigan. Ratigan hopes that the toy maker will craft a machine who looks just like the Queen, sounds just like the Queen, but isn't the Queen. Why does he want this done? Because then if he can convince a lot of people to come to a dinner party or something like that, and have the Queen stood on stage saying that she hands over a lot of power to Ratigan, Ratigan finds himself in a power position, which is why he kidnapped the toy maker in the first place. So the young girl invests in Basil and Dr. Dawson to go. It's a really good film, and if you haven't seen it already, I thoroughly suggest that you do. At number 9 is a choice that might annoy a lot of people. Now, when I said I wanted to do a top 10 Disney films, a lot of people presume that's just going to be Pixar or animated films, but Disney did a lot of very good live action films as well, one of which is the quadrilogy of Pirates of the Caribbean. Now they're going to make a lot more Pirates of the Caribbean films, which I think is just ridiculous. Anyway, in my personal opinion, the best Pirates of the Caribbean film is Dead Man's Chest. In spite of the fact that critics hated this film, I think the characters that were introduced in this film were absolutely brilliant and has one of the best fighting sequences I've seen on film for a very long time. The music gets even better with Hans Zimmer doing his usual greatness, and I think it's probably, as I've said before, the best Pirates of the Caribbean film and a really good highlight for Johnny Depp and Orlando Bloom. Now, at number 8 is a choice that's going to destroy any masculinity that I have left, Princess and the Frog. Now, so many of you are going to question this choice, but I personally think Princess and the Frog was a really good film. What makes it different from other Disney films is that not for the very first time, but for the first time in a long time, the main character, or the hero, or the princess in this case, because she's not really a princess, but would be within the class of Disney princesses, is an African-American woman. So this already makes a difference. Set in New Orleans in the 20th century, Tiana is a very fond cook and wants to open up her own restaurant. She's friends with a very privileged white girl who holds a party which has a prince coming to town, which a prince coming to town is going to be at. However, an expert in black magic manages to turn the prince into a frog. Now, you know how the story goes. The woman kisses the frog, they both turn into frogs, blah blah blah. Anyway, when he asks Tiana to kiss him, because he's convinced he can turn back into a human if she does so, she reluctantly does it, and not realising that she will turn into a frog. They both turn into a frog, going on this big magical journey to be able to get themselves back into humans. They meet some really good characters along the way, and the music in the film is brilliant, and I really enjoy the feel for it. It may be a controversial choice, but I think it's a really good film and is well deserved of the number 8 spot. And that's 101 Dalmatians. It's such a good film, and I think what makes it a good film is that the villain, Cruella de Vil, is real. Well, she's not literally real, but say Maleficent, who I think is the best Disney villain, represents evil, represents the devil. Yeah, she's very scary, but she could never be real. But there are people like Cruella de Vil, there are people who think it's a good idea to be able to use animal fur. And there are people with dogs who would watch that film and get quite scared. So I think Cruella de Vil makes 101 Dalmatians a really, really good film, and that's why it really deserves the number 7 spot, maybe even higher. Number 6 spot goes to the first ever Disney film, and to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if I get a couple of comments saying that this should be higher. I would agree, however this is just based personally on my opinion. It's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is a really groundbreaking film and laid the foundation for every single good Disney film you've ever seen. It's got a fantastic story, some of the songs in it are fantastic, and the villain really taught us not to talk to strangers, so Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs has to be in the top 10, and I probably made a bit of a mistake not putting it in the top 5. 5 is one of the jazziest, coolest Disney films, and that's The Jungle Book. The Jungle Book is a fantastic film and has some of the best Disney songs in it ever. The characters are great, Baloo is a great character, Bagheera is a great character. There is nothing bad about The Jungle Book. Funnily enough, one of our fellow hosts, Harry, was in a production of The Jungle Book. Just a little fact for you there. Is Pinocchio. Now, excluding Toy Story 3, which my brother made me watch every single day when we got it on Blu-ray, Pinocchio I've seen more than any other Disney film. The film is fantastic. All the characters are great in it. It's got probably, When You Wish Upon a Star is probably the best Disney film in my opinion, and it's just such a good film. Even though, much like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, even though it's old, you can still watch it now and still think it's a brilliant film. It's an absolute classic of a film, and it's well deserving of the fourth spot. At number 3 is Mulan. Now Mulan is my favourite Disney film, and like any good film fan can, I can acknowledge it is not the best Disney film. Mulan, I think, is brilliant. It's got really good songs. I think a lot of girls would be able to connect with it, I wouldn't know myself. And I think that's a really good film. Like I said, I wouldn't be able to connect with it myself. Up at number 2 is Monsters Inc. Everyone loves Monster Inc. Well, everyone. Harry, honestly now.
Don't you like it? Serious.
Everyone loves Monsters Inc. Monsters Inc. is a really good film. Whether you're 89 or 2, you can like Monsters Inc. I personally can relate to Monsters Inc. given that I'm tall with a lot of hair, so I can relate to Sully quite a bit. Mike, not so much. But I think it's a really good film, the storyline is great, the characters are fantastic, and Monsters Inc. makes Monsters University even better, because if they had released Monsters University first, then Monsters Inc., you wouldn't get 99% of the references, you probably wouldn't be able to get 99% of the jokes. Monsters Inc. is a really good film, probably one of the best films to come out of Pixar. And at the number 1 spot, you probably knew this going in, is Toy Story. Now I've neglected to put Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3 in the list because I think if you put sequels in, that leaves less room for the other great films. But there is not a bad Toy Story film. All of them are brilliant, especially the first one. The first Toy Story film teaches some fantastic lessons, has some brilliant music, and the characters, you love the characters. There's not a single toy in Toy Story that you wouldn't want to have, whether they talked or not. It's a brilliant film, and that's why it's at number 1. Now, naturally, with there only being 10 films, I neglected so many good Disney films. Like I said, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3, 2 really good films, but I didn't want to put sequels in. Cars 2, which is alright. Sleeping Beauty, Beauty and the Beast, 2 classics that I missed out. I do feel bad about not being able to put them in. The Lion King, Pocahontas. Anyway, thanks for watching. Keep watching, we're going to be getting as many videos as we can. Give us a like, subscribe, a favourite, a share. Shares are really important at this stage. We need to make sure as many people are seeing our videos as possible. If you want to comment your 10 favourite Disney films or comment your opinion on this video. Try and be nice. Anyway, I'll see you next time. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'll see you next time. You've been watching Cine 101. I'm Sam. Thank you.